Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Plapper. Platypus is the name, and today we're going to talk about gem slime, but not only gem slime. So, because of the last video that I did, it was like I had a scout. Obviously, I used 3 gem slimes. So, I kind of tried to I didn't give really any units that you should use instead of gem slime. I just kind of gave you the idea of what to look for stat-wise, given like paying and getting high wisdom and things like that, kind of strategies. But then people are like, well, how do you get gem slime? Are you going to make a guide how to do gem slime? And the answer is yes and no. I am going to show you guys how to make a gem slime using the metalkid.info really awesome website, which will be down in the description below. But beyond that, also, I'm going to give you basically, if you're free to play or pay to win. If you're pay to win like me and you have the mole hole DLC, then once you make a gem slime, you could just go and scout some. They're not that hard to scout, but they're kind of hard. But even with like a low percent, you just kind of retry 10 times until you get it. Then you get 3, and then you'll be set. Maybe get them leveled up, synthesize them so they have higher wisdom, stuff like that. But what are alternate units? Because making 3 or 4 gem slimes is a pain in the butt. All right. It's really, really a pain. So let's go over how to make the first one, and then I will show you other units you could use. There's 2 options that I saw that I recommend for similar stuff, but I'll kind of show you how to use this tool to also find other good potential scouting units. All right, let's jump into it. So we actually don't even really need the game up here. I'm going to use my display capture, boop, and we are going to be looking here. So to make a gem slime, it's 2 simple things. It's a Metal King slime, and it's a Balhib. Now, the Metal King slime, this is by far the easy part, in my opinion. Excuse me, ad. If you're far enough into the game where you want to get a gem slime, or you think you need a scout for a gem slime scout, then the Metal King slimes are not that hard to get, especially if you're using things like Overkilling Machine or it's not Killing Machine. I think it's not Uber Killing Machine, but yeah, Overkilling Machine, where they can like pierce the metal skin trait. So they become very, very. This guy is not that hard to get, and if you're grinding EXP, you're gonna find a bunch of them. So this guy is not too hard to get if you're in this stage of the game. But again, if the Metal King slime is hard, then this is just gonna be a really difficult thing for you to do where you're at, which is why we're gonna talk about other monsters that I think are good scouts that are in the same line, and maybe we'll discover a new one because it has a really good tool here on the Metal Kit info. But Balib is really the hassle. You don't want to have to make this a bunch of times. So if you look here, it's a grandparent fusion, which means it requires 4 specific monsters. I don't believe the order matters. I believe let's go ahead and minimize that. I believe for the way I always follow this exactly, like I fuse these 2 and I fuse these 2, but I think any combination of the 4 works as long as the 4 grandparents are these 4, right? I don't think you have to do this, but if there's no difference, just do it the way it does to be safe. So we can go ahead and go minimize here, and then let's go ahead and go, that's why, sorry, I pulled Balib up here. So let's actually go another 2 levels deep here. Let's just go real deep, all right? So you see, in order to make him, basically you need to get 4 monsters, a Magma Lice and a Fern Fiend. Now they're both D ranks material monsters. They're not that hard to make, but you do need to get 2 rock bombs, level them up. Fuse one with an undead, fuse one, because you can't scout these guys, right? So you got to do this and then do a dragon, do a rock bomb and an undead. And then Corolossus is actually pretty easy, a D material family or nature, just get one of those. And then Stone Golem can be scouted at the later echelons. I think it's the middle echelon of the, let me pull this up real quick. If I remember correctly, because there's like a whole Stone Golem like arc. I actually know them better by maps than I do by anything. I think it's Caprice, the Pierre's home. Here, there's going to be Stone Golems everywhere. So you get to scout one here. So we have got Scoutable, so that's awesome. But then we have to get Synthesized. So you have to get at least 2 monsters here. And then you have to get Fern Fiend. When the Fern Fiend is a Rock Bomb and a... I think... What does that line mean? Either combination is allowed. Sorry. Okay, so you could do, if you have a Frostburn and a Well-Wisher, yes, but I would probably use a Rock Bomb because those are easier. Then you could use any undead, and same here, Rock Bomb with anything. And so it's not that insanely hard to make, but it's a lot of legwork. And then you have to get a Metal King slime on top of it to make the gem slime. So it's just like you're doing a lot in order to get 1 gem slime. And if you want to do this 3 or 4 more times, you're absolutely free to grind it out. But I would probably without the Mohole DLC, I probably would only have one Gem Slime, if I'm being honest. The other ones have all been scouted. So let's take a look at some other monsters besides the Gem Slime. And also, but when you're doing this, like, the most important thing is to first get the Gem Slime. Don't worry about min-maxing your Gem Slime. Once you get a Gem Slime, then try to min-max it by getting it the wisdom and stuff. And you could get the wisdom while you're doing this stuff, like wisdom boosters 3 and 4, because those are going to be important on the end scouting monster, but they're not like SOS. You got to do it. Once you get the Gem Slime, then you can min-max it where you get the high stat caps and you get the high growth, where it's all good. And so here's 2 more monsters. One is, you could probably see them up here. Spoilers. The Crustacean Sorcerer. I think that's how you say it. I think that's Crustacean. Probably. So this guy's actually pretty darn easy. It's literally just Baleen Mage and King Slick Slime. Now, King Slick Slime looks kind of rough to get, but he's actually not all that bad. He does have like a really lame grandparent fusion, but if we go to the, you can actually just, the way I got him is you just scout him in the Circle of Indulgence upper echelon. Now, again, this is not early game. This is not easy game. But the reason I think Crustacean Sorcerer is really good, and he's easier to get because you can actually scout this guy. But, again, he's not easy. One, Baleen Mage is good, right? So this guy has a wisdom, if you like look here, of max wisdom of 800. So you are losing about 200, right, from here. But you can get Baleen Mage pretty darn easy. And his wisdom is kind of garbage. But once you get him, you know, you could start scouting with him. And then once you get the Crustacean Sorcerer, then I think you kind of have a good unit. And he also has a really awesome thing of instant ping. Wizardly Waft is actually a pretty cool ability, especially if you don't have like Cast Slash and you're using Giga Gash, things like that. It sounds like I'm talking in tongues, I feel like sometimes. But yes, so this is not the one I necessarily recommend, but I already know a lot of people might have one of these 2 things. Like this guy is in a lot of the dungeons, and the King Slick Slime, I ended up having like 3 or 4 of them, if I'm being honest. I don't even know why. I think I scouted one. It's like the super boss, I'm pretty sure, of the upper echelon, but I think because I'm just a slime guy, I had a lot of them, which is why this guy stood out to me. But the one that I think you guys really should consider as probably if you're free to play and you're not doing the Mohole DLC is the Time Being. Now, this guy is, oh, let's go to the synthesis tree. He is a rank C, and it's literally a Toger and a Jinxter, and he's the Time Being. And this guy actually is kind of cool because you can, he gets used, and I don't even know how to find out what he fuses into, but you don't really want to fuse him past this. But let's take a look at Time Being. I think it's Being. Is it two words? The Time Being monster. Okay, so like you can level him up later to get other things, right? Like, and then you get Rabbit Reactor guy or whatever, and then you can get other stuff, and you can go to Amon, things like that, right? So there's stuff you could do there, but I actually think this is where you stop because he has one of the highest wisdoms. I think it might be the 2nd highest wisdom, or like in the top 4 wisdoms in the game, and he's a rank C monster. 820 wisdom, even more than the Crustacean Sorcerer, and he's rank C. This guy is easy to make. A Jinxter and a Toger, these are both easily scoutable all over the game. Not literally all over. This guy's like in the not quite the final area, but you know what I mean. He's if you come over to the Cradle of Corruption and you go to the top here to the upper echelon, he's there. He's also in the I think it's the Conquest. I think he's in this not Conquest, in the Temper. I think he's in the where the heck's that oh, I think I am thinking of Corruption. Okay, I am thinking of Corruption. He's in a couple different areas here as well. So, I mean, and Jinxter, I don't even remember, but I mean, I have like 100 Jinxters. This guy is not going to be hard for you to get. And then the reason why this guy, I think, is actually pretty darn good, on top of having the high wisdom, he also has the insta-ping. Insta-ping, sometimes when you're going to scout, they'll just ping themselves. And if you're going to do the AoE ping strat, it's not as important. But still, if you do AoE ping, you could do it twice. Someone pointed out that I wasn't doing it twice, and the buff will stack up to 2 times. He's got Magical Moment, which isn't that important for the purposes of scouting. But I think this is a good combat unit, too, because Zammeister is also good. So, like, he even has a pretty decent, if I recall, talent here. Like, Big Banga, Lightning Storm, like, these aren't insane, but he's got some decent stuff. Honestly, it's not that good. I take that back. It's fine. But this is a great scouting monster for Wisdom. Now, if we want to look for other ones, I haven't gone past this, right? But let's go ahead and go to the Monsterpedia. If we go into the Monsterpedia on the Metal Kit info, I mean, he's got all these tools, right? He's got team builders. Like, this is, honestly, I kind of want to just do like a whole walkthrough of the site, but maybe not yet. Maybe they're still working on some things. Just a synthesis tree in general. Like, the synthesis tool he's got is so good. Now, I'm sure this was like, this is not all self-researched, right? This is definitely information from a JP site, but still, like, it's all here in one spot in English. We can understand and we could read it. It's awesome. So every monster in the game, this is basically what I did, right? I went for wisdom. The lowest wisdom is onion slime. Sorry, boy. And then you can see gem slime has the highest wisdom in the game. Now, are these numbers going to be 100% accurate? Probably not 100% accurate, but they're going to be up there for sure. Like, this is not going to be really, really far off. But you can see gem slime is like by far the best. But Time Bean is literally number 3 in the entire game, and he's so easy to get. Now, even his HP is good, right? His HP is better. He's got low attack, but who cares? That's not what he's for. He's got low defense, and he's got not great, but not terrible agility. 480 is actually pretty good. So I think this is just like a pretty darn good monster in general. I wonder what the max total is, like the highest. Gem slime. Gem slime's literally number 1 of the game for the amount of stats he can get. That's kind of funny. All the metal slimes are, except for King Metal. King Metal must have something that he's holding back on. But another thing you want to look for, if you just want to look for the highest attack, oh, White King is way down there. But look, this is one of the exact reasons why I tend to go for wisdom. Like, if you look at the attack caps, they're so much lower. Now, maybe you get more bang for your buck. That's very possible. I don't know. But I would go with something like a Machu Picchu. I mean, yeah, Nightclubber is good. Machu Picchu is kind of like a perfect scouter in a lot of ways. Cannonballer is way up here, man. Good. This guy is so easy to get. So that could be a good, easy scout monster. But I tend to go all physical or all wisdom. And I tend to err towards wisdom because the numbers are higher. And I like casting spells more than I just like the look in, you know, of wisdom. But Machu Picchu is not that hard to get. He's not easy, but he's not insane, right? You get a Not So Macho, which you could do once you get to the C ranks. You could do that. Get an Alamore. Harmer is not too hard to get. Grimkeeper is not too hard to get, so you can get him. And Machu Picchu is pretty good because he has a strong starter. So these are kind of the monsters I would recommend, you know. And also use this tool. If you're looking for stuff, like you just want to find out what has the most HP, She Slime. Would you have guessed She Slime has the highest HP cap in the game? More than Greater Platypunk? More than literally the behemoth She Slime? Probably not. You know, probably not. Like, what's the fastest unit? It's probably, yeah, Metal King Slime. It's going to be the Metal Slimes for sure. Highest defense, probably the same. Highest attack, we already looked at. Highest MP, who cares? But it's Gem Slime. So make sure you're using these tools. They're just really good. You can even look at them in an order. I'm going to do I think I am going to do a separate video to kind of just like look at this website. Calculators, damage calculators coming soon. Oh, just wait, Metal Kid. Same site, but not the HTTPS. What's this? Oh, it's going too slow. Okay. Coming soon. The damage formula for moves has been figured out, but I have a bunch of data into the skills database before I could take that calculator. Okay, so we'll look into that later. But yeah, this is hopefully just kind of a relatively short video, kind of giving you some, how to make a gem slime. One thing that's important to note, also, if you're still here, if you are using this to scout, you gotta decide, what is the monster for? Is it gonna be a scouting monster, a combat monster, or are you gonna try to do a hybrid? You're gonna use it in your main team while you're scouting through going through the campaign. And that's gonna basically decide what talents you want. If you're going for a scouting monster, like in the late game, I have Wisdom 4, Wisdom 3, Wisdom 2, right? I just want the highest Wisdom stat possible on 3 of my monsters. On one of them, I want something that could buff the whole squad's Wisdom, basically, you know? And then Wisdom 4, Wisdom 3, and then something like Sage. There's probably something even better. So this is not a team that's designed to fight. However, if you just want a team that's good at fighting, you can easily have a Gem Slime in there. You could easily have the, where did I put my boy at? The Time Bean in there. And then just give them Wisdom 4. Get them up to Wisdom 4, and then leave like some really powerful AoE attacks in there. And then you'll be able to do, you know, kind of a little bit of everything. And you'll be able to scout most things that are important. But if once you're trying to scout like copies of S ranks, you know, or just like even A ranks and stuff, like you're going to want probably more dedicated teams. So kind of plan on making that transition in the post game And also, some of your units that you were using in the main game and the post game aren't going to be particularly PvP oriented. And so you're either going to start focusing on PvP, which means you're going to want to level up different units, you know, more team focused, totally different strategy stuff. Agility becomes really important because you want to outspeed people. Or you're going to want to not care about that at all, and you're just going to try to complete the Monsterpedia because you've completed the game and you want to be a collector and finish that. So either way, that's where you're gonna start shifting your team to getting, basically you don't care about what abilities they have. You're just scouting, running, leveling up king slime, you know, killing king slimes. Get a metal king slime killer, get some scout, and then you're pretty much set to complete the game in that regard. And I still think that's a good setup for PvP as well, because you're gonna want to be able to level them up to 100 for sure before you take them into seriously PvP if you're trying to be competitive, which I'm still trying to get into. It's a lot of legwork. It is not a convenient thing to do, especially with a full-time job and a YouTube channel. And I'm trying to play, you know, Lorcana with my girlfriend, and I'm trying to do chores around the house, and you know, it's just hard to get into all this stuff, but I'm working on it. Anyway, that's it. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. If you guys like the video, subscribe. If you don't like the video, let me know in the comments down below. And if you did like the video, you can also let me know in the comments down below. Just like I like talking to people. I actually do read every comment. I don't respond to every comment, but like if I've read your comment, I'll usually give it a thumbs up because I just read through all the comments. And sometimes if there's questions and stuff, I will answer them. Even if it's like one person asked, how do you fuse talent or evolve talents? And I was like, it's self-promoting, but I was like, I already did a video on that. Just look on my channel. You'll find in the last couple days. It's in the playlist. All right. Now I'm just rambling. Peace out. You have a good one. Bye.